Sup Tankers, Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks, and today we're gonna take a look at map Karelia. Yeah, this map came back not long ago, but I haven't had a chance to really post anything on this map, and I want to show you some of the strategies on this map, which are really good. So we're gonna take a look at a few different strategies. Let's pause it right here. So we're gonna be starting off on the northeast spawn, and the fighting usually happens along the Stone Valley area between D-Gen Crossing and Stone Valley. That area is heavily contested usually on this map, as well as the Overlook area. Now there is a reason for that. Overlook is a very powerful position. If you can get yourself into the Overlook position, you pretty much have shots across the entire map. But let's focus on where we're starting from. So usually heavy tanks go into Stone Valley and try to push towards Overlook. Same with some armored medium tanks. You'll find them go in that direction, go in that area. Today we are in T95E6, Tier 10 American medium tank. And this tank is absolutely fantastic. One of the best Tier 10 medium tanks. However, it doesn't have a lot of armor. So you have to be aware of that. In this situation, I have three options. I could potentially go into Stone Valley and try to snipe out of G0 area, somewhere around there, and stay concealed. This is what a lot of super unis do early in the game, because you can stay concealed in this area and just shoot across into K6 and J7. So that's one position I'd take. Second, I could play really aggressively, go towards Overlook, try to brawl it out with mediums there, and try to win that area, then push over D-Gen Crossing. That's another option for my tank. Now with my rate of fire, winning Overlook, I could probably have significant impact winning this area there. It depends how many tanks actually go there with me, because if I'm there all by myself or just a couple of tanks, usually I'll get overcrowded by the opposition team. So you usually need at least 3 tanks going into this area in order to win this battle, because opposition pushes Overlook really hard, most often than not. Now the third play, which I'm not going to show in this replay, but we're going to show it in a second replay, is we're going to play the north side of the map, which gives us flexibility to move around a little bit more there. So I'll show you position in area C6, where we're going to start off, do some spotting, and then we're going to move across the map, and I'll show you progression. Anyway, let's start the first game, and let's show you what happened here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to click on the area that I'm going to be going to. Because I decided to play this aggressive, and I want to go towards Overlook area, I cannot go there by myself. So I'm really going to be clicking the area I'm going to. I'm going to be asking for help. And I'm going to be watching how many tanks come with me. Now, already I'm looking who's coming with me, and it doesn't look very promising. At this point, I could have literally turned around and do something else, change the way I want to play this map right now, but I decided to take my chances. This is usually high risk, high reward play. It is what it is. The one thing about T95E6, it can hold its own going 1v1 versus any other tank, to be honest. Even against Russian mediums, well, with exception of T62A, I would say. So anyway, we're gonna spot out here. We're gonna put some shells into these guys that are coming into the Overlook, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to get a scouting report and see how many tanks are actually gonna come up here. And it's already not looking good for me, because I'm the only one here. There's only one medium tank at H9, and none of our remaining tanks are actually coming here to fight with me. So I already knew I was dead. I was basically pinging the map, was saying, okay, no one's coming. I was sending crazy messages because, like, on this map you have to make a decision fast. If you want to come to this area here, you have to make a decision, split decision at the beginning of the game. If you don't do it, then for the most part we're not gonna win this area. So I'm just gonna play defensive here. I'm gonna try to put as many shells of damage as I can and try to survive as long as possible. But I knew the game was over. The game was over. But I'll be surprised. In some cases you're surprised, so we'll see what happens here. So I saw this object 780 coming here. I have to pen my shots. I was thinking to myself, I really have to pen my shots here if I want to have any chance of surviving. So I did pen a couple of my shots. He bounced his, and we're gonna keep pounding those heat rounds into his top plate or lower plate, making sure that we take him out of the game, and we do. Unfortunately, we take one more hit. It would have been nice if we didn't take that hit. Now, this hill over here on top of the Overlook, this is dangerous too. You guys have to be really careful. I could have taken that Astronex out over there, but Artie has shots into this area. And you notice there was an Artie icon that showed up for a split moment, so I know Artie is aiming at me. I don't want to be losing any more HP at this moment, because the game is, I think it's still winnable, because all of a sudden a couple of heavy tanks and a medium actually came to this area here to support me, which is great. Astronex, unfortunately he managed to run away, but now this Vanguard's coming up, so we're going to try to back off into the area where opposition cannot hit us, and we're going to try to put some shells into this guy, but we don't see the rock. We run into the rock. Our driving skills are fantastic, and then we scuff our shot as well, and we shouldn't be probably shooting heat over here, but regardless, we have a shot at this Paladin. We see his turret. We're going to take him out of the game. At this point, we want to keep taking guns out of the game because we're losing this game. So taking guns out is very important. Now we're going to push up here, and we're going to try to engage these guys. Now this position is great too if you have good gun depression, because you can pretty much stick to that hill on your right hand side and just poke out from behind the hill and use your gun depression to shoot these guys. So unfortunately, yeah, I don't know. I should have aimed lower there. Stupid shell went into the gun of Scorpion. All these shots that I'm missing right now are towards our disadvantage. I should be penning my shots. Every shot over here is important. And here I switched to standard rounds, and I shouldn't have. I should be probably firing heat rounds here, because you're gonna see what happens. I'm unfortunately gonna bounce this Cranvan right there, which could have been very critical if I actually penned him. And I think I'm gonna do exact same thing again. Yeah, right there. That was stupid. I should have had heat rounds loaded. I would have had this guy out of the game, but because I did not, it's gonna bite me later on. Regardless. Now we notice that we lost control of the map. So our team is completely collapsing. They don't know what the hell is going on. So we're gonna go and try to help this T-95. I think we have enough tanks on this side here now, so we can easily disconnect from K-line and go towards 0 line and try to support this T-95. That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna stay over here. We're gonna stay undetected. T-95 should spot these guys coming down the hill, and he does. And we're gonna fluff that shot, because why not? And we should be able to put this one in. Are we? Yes, we put that shell in. We roll high quite nicely. And now we're gonna push up. We're gonna push up a little bit here, because we want to take some guns out of the game. Again, T-95 draws all the fire. So we want to come up here and surprise the opposition. This guy's a one-shot, so we should be able to take him out. And we do. Now, I do not want to go around that hill. Why? First, Artie. Second, I don't know how many opposition players is there. Now look at all of our greenies. They're coming back to the area where I'm in. The key to defending Overlook, or this area here, is you need to cover all 3 flanks, which means F9, K6, and G7. So you need tanks in each one of those areas in order to defend this position. And all of our greenies just vacated the hill over here, and they left our Artie all by itself. That's not a good play. Now I see this Progetto coming up. I'm like, okay, this is game over for me. But luckily he's not paying attention to me, so we're gonna just run away, because he could easily clip us out. He's a 4-shell reloader. Last thing I want is engage with him right now, so I want to go away. And I'm calling for help. Hopefully someone is gonna notice and come here and help me. And luckily our mouse is still in the vicinity, plus our TD, so they're gonna take on this guy. At the same time, I'm gonna try to come from behind and put some shells into him, but he just does the drive-by. He does the drive-by and he runs off, and then all of a sudden I have a guy on my back again, this K91-2. So we're gonna try to turn around and use our gun depression to engage him. We know he has no gun depression. It's a Russian tank, so we should be able to use this hill right here and engage him. We're gonna angle a tank over here to make sure he bounces that shell, and he does. Our track absorbs it, and now we should be able to take him out, and we do. Now unfortunately we fall asleep for a split moment, and this is what's gonna cost me the game. I fell asleep instead of looking at the map. I didn't realize that Kranvan was right behind me right here, and unfortunately he takes me out of the game and puts me out of my misery. If I paid attention, I could have went behind that wreck and used my strong turret armor to try to take him out. Also, if I had heat rounds loaded and if I took him out earlier in the game, I wouldn't be in a position that I have to defend against him. But it is what it is. That's the way game goes. And our mouse is basically not paying attention to G7. And unfortunately, he's going to be taken out because that Kranvan is going to poke again. Right there. And he's going to take him down. So unfortunately, we couldn't hold it. The only tank remaining is T95. And he's in a really bad position because he's all exposed. Even though he's full health, but he's all exposed. And Artie can easily hit him here. Any tank could hit him from any direction. So if you end up at the end of the game in a slow turretless TD, find yourself a wall or a hill where you can back against to defend yourself. Don't stay in the middle like this because you're going to get shafted. Last thing you want to do is that. Anyway, let's speed this up a little bit to show you what happens here. Yeah, he gets spotted here and he gets pretty much demolished by everything. Only 4 guns in the game, but that's enough to pretty much take him out in no time. There it is. So unfortunately, it's a defeat. And the Kranvan we failed to kill, killed us, and he pretty much cleaned up. Good game by him. Congrats. Alright. Let's move on to the second game now. And we are at exactly same spawn. Maybe slightly more north than we were before in the first game. And in this game, I'm going to try and take the north side of the map. So that's what we're going to do here. So I'm going to show you a little bit of a different play. We're going to start off in position C5, C6, somewhere around there. And that position, I've used it in the past many times. It's very good for light tanks, very good for fast medium tanks, or medium tanks that have very good camo, so that you can spot out the middle of the map. So that's what we're going to do. And that way we can avoid the whole brawling area at the Overlook and survive a little bit longer. Now the problem with this play is that if we don't push through here fast enough and we lose the Overlook, then it's game over, basically. But it has to be a little bit of a patient play here because we need to spot out all these guys and see how many of them are actually coming in this direction. So we spot the C50. We're going to put 1 shell into him. He spots us as well. He puts a shell into us, but we put 2 shells into him. So we want that trade, which is important. Now, you have this rock here on this side. So you can pretty much back off behind the rock and lose your spot. And that's what I'm doing right here. Now, this position is not entirely already safe, but which position actually is? Anyway, this 100 LT is pushing us hard over here. Actually, he's pushing our light tank. So we're going to try to help him. We drop behind this rock and we're going to try to put some shells into this guy. We put 1, but he's really hard to hit because of the height of that tank. So we can't really shoot him. We don't have any shots at him. We could only help as much as we can. And I don't want to really get out of this position because if I do, if I go forward or backwards here, on top of the hill or behind that rock, I will get hit by whoever's in the middle. So I don't want to be doing that. So now that we're unspotted, we're going to come up here. We're going to try to see if we can spot anything else. Now we are aware that there is a medium tank at A4 or A5, somewhere around there, because he was spotted earlier when the opposition light tank was running around here. So we know he's there, but he's not spotting us right now, so we don't care about him. We want to put some shots of damage into these guys in the middle. That's what we're going to do. We're going to put some shells into this E75. So let's keep doing that. Side turret shot. Easy shots over here. I'm unspotted, so I could easily just sit here and shoot across the map. There, he's taken out. And now we realize that we won the Overlook area, so we're just going to try to push the field over here. I have a lot of HP left, so we're going to try to engage this medium tank that's here. And it's either M48 120mm or it's T95E6. I can't remember at this point, but we can easily go 1v1 versus him. It's M48 120mm, so we put a shell into his hull. Now we wiggle our turret a little bit. That helps with him trying to hit our cupola, since our cupola is so big. And at the same time, we're able to hit his cupola. And as you notice here, our reloads are very similar because once I hit my shot and hit his cupola, he shoots right after me. But because he misses his shots and I pen mine, I could easily just charge him now and take him out of the game. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So we're going to approach him here. We just didn't want to lose any HP on the approach. And now we're just going to track him in place. And now we should be able to take him out of the game. Unless we low roll, we're going to do a turret ring shot. And that's what we do over here. We put it in. We low roll, unfortunately. So the next shell, we should be able to kill him. And we take him out of the game. Just like that. And we're gonna move forward. So in this situation, not many enemy tanks actually came here. As you notice, almost all of the enemy tanks are sitting in K6. They didn't even make it to the Overlook area, and that's usually what happens. You need tanks to come on this side of the map. I mean, 2, 3 tanks, 4, whatever it is, you need tanks on this side of the map. Because if you don't have control of the map, and I've stated that in so many of my videos, if you have no control of the map, at one point you'll end up being shot from every direction and you will not know where from, especially if the choke point is not moving like it's happening in this situation here. Our team was simply too good and the opposition team just couldn't make the move. So we're just gonna go for the cleanup here. Normally we would go down the 1 line, but because the opposition is losing so bad, we want some additional damage here, so we're just going directly across the map and just putting some finishing shots into these guys that are spotted. We put a shell into this Crown Van, we put another one here into him, and now we're gonna put a shell into this Iron Arnie. And yeah, that should pretty much do it. I know there's a TD sitting at the opposition spawn. I didn't know at this point what it was. It was a Death Star. So that's not a pleasant sight, to be honest. Death Star looking right in your face, but it didn't matter because I had enough HP to take that hit. And now we're just gonna drain him down as much as we can. And our team pretty much demolishes the opposing team. Anyway, guys, so that's the way I play Karelia. There's different ways to play this map. I showed you 2 of the ways I play this map. The first one is very aggressive and you can lose your tank very fast and be in a garage in no time. So be careful if you decide to do that. This play is a little bit safer, but you have to pay attention to the choke point and make sure that you're pushing before choke point falls. Because if it does, you're also going to be in trouble. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's it for now. Until next time, happy tanking, Space Bandit. Checking out.